Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jesse, and today I'm going to be reacting to your answers to the question, what keeps you from picking up a book? Whether it be a book at the library you see and you're just like, nope, or a book that you see at the bookstore where you're just like, nope, or even just a book that you see in your social media feed that has you saying, nope. If you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Jesse, as I stated in the intro, and I love seeing how readers approach things differently. I'm also really nosy, and I like to look at other people's reading lives and compare them to my own. Not like a bad comparison, just like a comparison in the fact that I like seeing different perspectives. I like seeing how different people operate. I don't know if anybody else is similar to me in that sense, but if you're here, if you clicked on this video, you might in fact be just as nosy as me. Welcome to Nosy Hour with Jesse, the Nosy Club. Let's put our noses in other people's business today. I went over on my community tab here on YouTube, asked you guys to answer the question, and today I'm going to be reacting to your answers and seeing if I feel similar or if I feel completely different. Let's dive into the questions. I'm going to be reading your answers off my laptop, so if your nosiness has you asking, why is he not looking at the camera? There's your answer. That's the tea, bestie. First up, very clear fan servicing. I can understand why this one would deter you from wanting to pick up a book because it just feels so contrived. There's nothing about it that feels natural. It almost feels like the author lurked on the readers or lurked on their online communities, their fandom, saw what their readers liked and said, yes, I will in fact write that into my book. Let me take advantage of this element and give the people what they want. But it just feels so icky to me. Icky, icky, icky. I don't know that I've necessarily come across this in fiction books. I feel like this is something that I've seen a lot in manga and anime. But let me know if you've read a book or a series where you felt like the author has done fan service, because now your boy is curious. Your boy wants to know. I tend to be a one strike and you're out reader. If I've previously disliked a book by an author, I almost never pick up another. 23 of you liked that one. Dang. Dang, buddy, that's harsh. But at the same time, I get it. I definitely tend to be the type of person that gives the author the benefit of the doubt. It's like how we all have our bad days. Authors all have their bad books. It doesn't mean that every book that they come out with is going to be bad, or at least I hope that's not the case. But I also feel like this is a situation where I'm very pick and choose when it comes to this. There are some authors where I'm like, no, you're blocked, we're done, you did the dirty, and I don't see us getting to a clean place in this reader relationship. But then there are the other authors where I see positive things within their writing, or I feel like there is a lot of potential there. Those are the authors that I will typically give a second chance and will try again, and hope that their next book comes through and pops off. A good kind of pop off, not a bad kind of pop off, not a bad explosion. Some authors get the second chance redemption arc, other authors get the you've been booted from my shelves and I will never pick up a book by you again arc. I will say I feel like this happens a lot when it comes to a debut book. If I didn't like an author's debut book, I will give them a second chance. I will try out another book by them. Sometimes a debut book can be a full-on banger. It feels like the author put their heart and soul and all of themselves into that book. And then there are times when an author comes out with their debut book and it's just like, yikes, yikes, yikes. When the blurb is so grandiose that it comes across as vague, like 4 misfit heroes must come together to save the universe before it's too late. Cool, that could be literally any book. I need to be given a specific to hook me. See, I'm the type of person that needs descriptions to be really simple, really vague, and to the point. I feel like there are some descriptions out there that are just so convoluted, there's just so much going on within them. They're either bringing in so many different plot points from the book into the description in order to catch the reader's attention, or they're trying to sell you on the different tropes or the fantasy elements, are just doing the most. And I feel like it either gives too much away, leaving next to no surprise when you're actually reading the book. You're just like, okay, this is basically the description, just a little bit expanded, which I mean, at least they were being truthful with the description, but it's like, there's nothing to be surprised by. It was all in the description. Or the other scenario is I will read the description and it'll be so convoluted and so confusing, it won't make any sense, and it will make me not want to read the book. Sometimes I'm like, low-key, can somebody come through and just dumb this down for me a little bit, dumb down this description for me a little bit? I prefer when a book gives you two options when it comes to the description. One is a few vague lines on the back of the book. I feel like more and more books are doing this, where they just have 3 lines on the back of the book to kind of simply describe the book, and then just leave the full-on detailed description in the inside flap, which is where you obviously normally find it on hardback books. That way we've got a happy marriage, the best of both worlds. Something for the people that need all the deets, and something for the people like me who don't need all the deets. When it's the beginning of a series and not all books are out yet, because if I like it, I want to read them back to back. Tell me you're a series binge reader without telling me you're a series binge reader. I get this though. If I had the ability to ram through a book series within a few days, within a week, I too would avoid picking up the first book in a series that isn't complete. I can only imagine the disappointment that you binge series readers have when you read a book and you realize that it's the first in a series and the rest isn't out yet. devastating. I can't imagine. I feel like even though I'm really not the best at binge reading series, I still do prefer when the rest of the books are out in a series, because that way I can kind of see how things might play out, how I might end up feeling about the series, because people will have read the books already, and I can figure out if it's a series that's worth sticking to, because we've all had that series experience where things just go downhill and we leave the book feeling frustrated AF. If there are too many blurbs from authors/reviewers on the back cover of the book or multiple pages at the front of the book, seems like the publisher are trying too hard. It also means I have to search for the book description, which is all I'm interested in. A few select, short and to the point by authors in the same genre makes sense. I've never picked up a book based on an author's blurb. That's an interesting take, but I can understand seeing that and being like, red flag, red flag, red flag. I typically don't even look at blurbs unless there's an author's name that I'm somewhat familiar with, but I'll always remember being at a book festival and hearing an author say that it's rare that they actually read the books that they're blurbing, that they'll just lend their names to their friend's book and sort of their seal of approval and support for that book without truly reading it. When I tell you my jaw was on the floor when I heard an author say this, I was like, dang, I already have trust issues with authors and what they do in their books. Now I can't even trust their blurbs? I mean, even still, can we really trust author blurbs? I mean, all they are just like glowing, shining reviews. So you can't trust them as it is. And it's not like a book publisher is going to allow for an author to have a blurb that's something like, meh, it was mediocre, could be better, I could have written this better. All that to say, I'm sure that not every single author does what this author said at the book festival, but even still, that's just like imprinted on my mind. Like every time I pick up a book and I see book blurbs, like that memory just comes flooding in, comes rushing in. If one of my friends is obsessed with a book when I know we have extremely different taste, example, she loves Colleen Hoover and those books are not for me, I will almost certainly rethink reading that book. It's honestly pretty helpful to have friends like this because it helps me trim down my TBR. Savage! I completely get that, because if your standard doesn't meet their standard, why even bother? Also, I feel like it's best to just kind of like keep the peace and the friendship, because I feel like if they were to recommend you books all the time and you were always reading them and hating them, like there's going to be some tension building there, from friends to enemies. I see a book there somewhere. The book recommendation that destroyed our friendship. The New York Times best-selling book. My natural instinct is to stay far away from anything highly recommended / going viral on Book Talk, etc. I can't help but think if a book appeals to so many people, it must be operating at a lowest common denominator and probably isn't that good. I think truly great books are usually too divisive or unique to gain that large a crowd of supporters. So I always have to force myself to pick up a book that's currently doing the popularity rounds on social media. Now listen, I don't think we can necessarily blame this on like the Book Talk community. They can't really control what does and does not go viral, but I do agree with you on this. I feel like if a book is going insanely viral, if it's going from 0 to 100 overnight, I'm gonna wait a few weeks, because those first few weeks are when the hype floodgates are let open and the expectations start to build and build and build. And then I feel like after that little 2-week moment is when the reviews start coming in where people are like, LOL, this book sucks. I'm not saying that I'll never read these popular books or these viral books, because I feel like some of them do deserve the hype that they are getting, but I definitely do wait a little bit before getting to them, because I just want to like lower my expectations as much as I can, at least, because some of these books, it's hard to lower your expectations with how people talk about them. When a book cover is trying to imitate the cover of another book which has been successful. A good example would be the Thursday Murder Club series. I've seen so many books coming out with eerily similar covers. Ooh, I get this one, and I feel like more times than not, this might sound really rude to say, but like they try to replicate the cover style and it just does not hit the same. Like it's like, it feels very, can I copy your homework? But then they copy down the answers under the wrong questions and they just miss and they earn that F. Honestly, certain type of covers. I know we shouldn't judge, but I just get a vibe sometimes. Listen, if you've never judged a book by its cover, you have. You're lying. We all have. We all do it. And there are some covers out there that are just going to rub you the wrong way. It's okay. I definitely try my best not to let this one like affect me picking up certain books, because bad cover does not mean bad book, and also good cover does not always mean good book. I feel like I've had a lot of scenarios under that umbrella. There are a lot of beautiful books out there that are hiding horrendous stories. I've read 4 books that happened to be Reese's Book Club picks and disliked every one of them. Now I'll just avoid a book if it was a part of Reese's Book Club, because apparently me and Miss Witherspoon have different tastes. That makes sense. I know that Reese Witherspoon's book club does a lot of good, in that it's both beneficial in getting people who might not normally read to read, and it's beneficial for the authors that get chosen for it because more people are reading their books. But I cannot stand that the Reese Witherspoon Book Club logo is printed on the books permanently. Why? I mean, I hate stickers on books as well, but like at least they come off. I would rather have that any day. Honestly, that alone sometimes makes me not want to pick up a book, because it's just ugly. I'll say it, ugly. And it sticks out like a sore thumb. I have a few books on my TBR shelf that are printed in a very small font. I just get annoyed when I see them and don't ever pick them up. Sometimes I just read it on Kindle, but not always. That's why I hate ordering books online, to be honest. Valid. Books printed in small print should come with magnifying glasses. Like, you want me to squint through the book? You want me to damage my eyes for your book? I'll send you my eye doctor bill. I do like the idea of just like snagging the ebook so you can control the font size. This is when Kindle and ebooks really come in handy. If I read the back cover synopsis of a book and there are 50 different plot points touched on from a dozen different genres and no clear focus, I won't be picking up that book anytime soon. See, this is what I'm saying. Simple book descriptions are in, over detailed book descriptions are out. Or again, we can just have that like happy medium moment as well. I'll allow it. I'll embrace it. I'll take it in. I would say genres that I don't normally enjoy. Like when I go book shopping, I normally avoid the areas in the store that aren't where the genres that I like reading are located. I'm sure there are plenty of amazing books that are a part of genres that I normally don't read, but I'm still going to avoid them because they aren't my normal book genres I read. The part of me that's like, reading a variety of genres will change your life is trying its best not to burst and just be like, don't pigeonhole yourself into one genre. But this makes sense. I will let you live your life, make your own choices. It's your life. It's not my life. I can't control you. You do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to police you. And it makes sense. If you found something that you enjoy, why would you stray away from that thing that you enjoy? Like if you're living your life happy with the genre that you're reading from, stay happy, my friend. Stay happy. Where's his country accent coming from? Yeehaw! There's a particular style of cover art that does this sort of geometric framing that screams derivative to me. I feel bad because it's recently really popular with both traditional and self-published books, but as soon as I see that cover art style, I'm so uninterested and it takes a lot for the summary to recapture my attention. I can understand this one because I know that this book cover style in particular is everywhere right now, and it's a lot. Publishers love trends. They see a trend and they're like, everything ever needs to fit under this trend. But at the same time, I love this book cover style, so I'm like low-key here for this trend. But like at the same time, like I understand where you're coming from. I too get annoyed when we're only being fed one style of book cover. I feel like something that's coming to mind that kind of bothers me right now, even though like there for a while I really liked this, but like romance book covers are all starting to like look the same. They kind of use that like vector art style, and every romance book ever is doing it, it feels like. Not every single romance book ever, but like a lot. Too many of them are doing it. I'm really not a fan of questions in the blurb like, will they be willing to risk everything? They often feel really cliche and my excitement dials right down. Also happens a lot with romance books, and I'm really not a fan of romance. I feel like we're all realizing the fact that like the current state of book blurbs are just not it. Mind you, I know that publishers cannot please every single person, but clearly some changes need to be made, okay? Give us some options, give us some variety. I will say though, you saying this makes me realize that this is how I describe books sometimes. I'll be like, will they be able to save the world or will they crash and burn? Will they take their friendship to something more or will it crash and burn? Will they save their goldfish from turning into a demon or will they crash and burn? Clearly, I need to figure out a new way to describe books myself. I should work on this. The mere feeling that I will love it sometimes deters me from picking it up for a long time. This. Why are we like this though? Like, why do we hold ourselves back from things that we know we're going to love? I feel like I often do this because like I feel like there's always that like right moment, that right time for when I want to read like a specific book, which I know sounds so stupid, but I feel like this is like my mood reader side coming out. Like I just feel like sometimes I save books for specific moments, but it's just so stupid. Like, why am I holding myself back from the possibility of loving a book? Pictures of real people on the cover. I'll wait till they make a better edition or never read it. Thanks. Also, when the age gap in a relationship is too big, not my cup of tea. See, this is understandable, but I feel like the more that I have been a part of the book community, like I just don't care anymore. Like I used to despise having book covers with real people on it, and I feel like it can be done tastefully, and then there are the times when it's like really cheesy, and those are the moments when it bothers me. But for the most part, I don't care anymore. I don't care as much anymore for some reason, but I feel like it's because we don't see it as often anymore. Like we don't see real people on covers as often as we used to. It used to be a big problem. Now we've got other book cover trends to worry about. Long chapters, big mood, short chapters all the way. That is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to everybody who answered this question, and if you did not see the original community post, then feel free to answer this question down below in the comments. What about a book has you passing on it? Like, what are some things that are deal breakers for you with books? Whether you're out shopping or at the library or even just shopping your own shelves, what are the elements of a book that will have you passing on it? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye. Meow. There's a particular style of cover art that does this sort of geometric framing that screams derivative. Oh my gosh. That screams derivative.